Welcome to another episode of Table for One. We have Andrew Briggs here.
Howdy.
The one of 5 content creators in Denver.
Yeah,
it seems like
there aren't any. It's crazy.
None of them. Hey, dude, you're kind of a deep thinker. Or you think probably a little harder than the most, I would say. Do you have to have a partner that is more intellectually inclined, or like you okay with, say, like a shallow thinker or something?
I feel like you need to have somebody that impresses you in some kind of way to have like a meaningful relationship, and or at least gives you like some level of intrigue. Like I wish I could remember who said this, but you're essentially looking for, when it comes to a relationship, kind of the best conversation partner forever.
Yeah.
You know, someone who like you're
Might
always
have been Chris Williamson.
It might have been him, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're kind of just looking for someone who's going to be like a good conversation partner for the rest of your life. And I think that's pretty true. So I would say the relationships that have like stood for some while for me, it's usually that there's something that's like really interesting about them. And like if I bring up something that I'm kind of working through for a video or thinking through just for like general life shit, they can kind of like meet me on it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's been some people where like I've brought up like different kinds of topics, and they can't get past like, I don't know, kind of like an Instagram level like analysis of it, and I'm just like, okay, this probably ain't the one, you know?
Yeah, it is hard, dude. I feel like you meet somebody and then like maybe some of their talking points are just shit you've seen on, TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Or like Instagram. And so it's like, all right, well, any nuance in that at all, or no, nothing. So
People like the comfort of absolutes.
Yeah.
And I think it's just tough for people to get away from that, because there's something kind of scary in nuance where whenever you speak about something, if it's just absolute, if it's totally matter of fact, you don't have to like dive any deeper into it. You can just kind of like move on from whatever that thing is. Whereas if it's even something simple like, is Denver like a good place to live? It's like, oh, well, I like skiing and snowboarding, so yes, it's great. Or it's like, oh, well, I don't care about like drinking and smoking weed, so no, it's terrible.
You're in the
it's
wrong
like,
spot.
yeah. So it's like, but then, you go a little bit deeper into that, and there is like all this stuff, but there's like also a confusing amount of homelessness for like what I didn't expect it here. And then, wow, it actually gets a lot hotter than I would have expected. And damn, it sucks having to drive this far. And it's like, there's a lot more to it than just a simple yes or no, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you mentioned Denver, and how long have you been here, first of
all? Coming up on 4 years.
Okay. I mean, how has dating been for you out here?
It's tough, man, but I have what people would probably consider a more conservative look on dating, where like I'm kind of looking for something a little bit more traditional. I've always wanted to be a dad. Like I want to have, if I have like the number in my mind has always been 5 kids. And if I get married and I have 5 kids and my wife is like, let's have 6, I'm gonna be like, let's have 6. Like, I will have as many kids as I physically can and be like thrilled about it.
Yeah. You could just find 5 wives and have 1 kid.
Boom.
With each of them.
Not locking the polycule,
right,
bro.
There you go.
No, so it's like, it's just an uncommon thing in Denver. I feel like Denver has a very Peter Pan syndrome aspect to it, where it's people come here. In fact, God, please write this question down, because I need you to ask every single guest this.
Okay.
How long after your last breakup did you wait until you moved to Denver? It is always less than a year.
Oh, damn,
every fucking time. It is surreal, dude. When I first moved here, I started asking people that, I just moved here. I go, how long ago was your breakup? And they go, it's always under a year. It was true for me too. Almost a year to the day.
Why is that? Why is this just the?
Well, so that's where like the Peter Pan syndrome thing kind of comes from with this. Is I feel like people are, this is a great place to figure yourself out. It's awesome. There's a lot of stuff in Denver and Colorado. Like it's got a pretty good nightlife. There's fun stuff to do. You can, go bar crawl around, down 20th Street, pretty easily. And you can go snowboarding, and you can go do nature shit, and you can go do this, and you can go so there's like a lot to do here that is very, in a cliche way, like it kind of helps you explore physically, but it also helps you to figure yourself out, you know?
Yeah.
Like, okay, what am I actually into? And, you know, is this a place that I want to stay? And then pretty much everything that you do in Denver is like 45 minutes away. So you're going to have these 45-minute long drives minimum where you're just sitting there by yourself sometimes thinking. And, you know, when you're just kind of like up there, you're going to hopefully figure yourself out. And then, but yeah, a lot of people come here with like problems, you know, and like scars from last relationships. They meet somebody and they go, oh my God, this person's amazing. They don't realize that person's got their scars and other shit as well. So they end up just, you know.
Damn, are you my therapist, dude?
I am. I am. Lock in. But yeah, so like people just end up like kind of inadvertently fucking other people up. And I don't think I really don't think it's malicious. I don't think anybody is like intentionally having like unhealthy relationships here. But, you know, when you get people who they're from one breakup, moving to a new place, and then they're like, oh, I want to find myself. I don't want to get tied down. It starts to cause issues. And this is true of men and women, where people are trying to find themselves. And unfortunately, when you're trying to find yourself and you're not really sure of who you are, you're going to leave a couple bodies along the way, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, that's well spoken. I feel like that's what every guest tries to say, but it just doesn't come out that well, you know? Hey, I have an easier question for you.
Hit me.
How do you fix modern dating?
Very
easy question.
That actually is an easy question. You gotta stop having sex on the first date.
Dude. We've heard that by so many. We've had dating coaches on here too.
Yeah.
We've heard that like they all say the exact same thing.
Yeah. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times in my life there has been a gal that I was seeing and I'm like, man, we got nothing in common. Man, we do not have like the same end stage goals for a relationship. But the sex. And you know, it's like, so you can overlook a lot. You can overlook a lot of incompatibilities just because the sex is good. And again, this is true for men and women. Like it's a very real thing that if the sex is good, you can go, you know what, like maybe these things aren't great, but maybe we can figure this out. And it's like, well, maybe you can figure it out, but isn't that something that you would want to determine without kind of pulling the wool over your eyes, so to speak, by going, wow, we have a lot of sexual chemistry. Hopefully all this other stuff works, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Is that like a turn off for you if you know, a woman wants to have sex with you on the first date?
I am not perfect. I will.
He's outing himself. No,
I am not perfect. You know, I learned this lesson by making this mistake many times. But there was a gal once upon a time, within the last couple of years, beautiful, totally my type. And she was smart, she was pretty, she was funny, she was all these different things. And I remember telling her in so many words, I was like, hey, I actually want to get to know you. I don't want to like dive into this. And she was like, okay, cool. And it was like, it didn't click, what I was saying. And
you walked out into your living room and she was naked.
It's metaphorically, something like that was happening. Yeah, where it was just like it just became like very, very forward with things, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like if that's your thing, that's totally fine. But I was just like, hey, like this is, I don't want to like, I don't know, impact our ability to like really get to know each other. Yeah. And it's. People live in this like utopian idea of like, well, it shouldn't matter. And that shouldn't affect the way that, we see each other. And it's like, yeah, that's great, but it does. Yeah. It is what it is. And like the best relationships that I've ever had in my life were ones where we like really, really delayed sleeping with each other. And then by the time we got to it, I was like, oh my God, like I know so much about you. You're just, I know your hopes and your dreams and your family goals, and just I know so much about you. And I did all of that without going, oh my God, I cannot wait to get to her house and fuck tonight, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I've said this multiple times, but like my longest relationships were always like where, you know, we waited 3 months or 4 months or anything like that. So, and I feel like kind of a hypocrite, because it's like I probably would have done it on the first night, and then I probably would have not, you know, it probably would have changed my tune a little bit, but that's on me, and I'm sorry about that. You know, we live and we grow, people. But yeah,
None of this is being said with a, hey, I've never made that mistake.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's you learn lessons because you make them. And this is one of the, do you have a relationship with your dad?
Yeah.
You?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are so fucking lucky. I cannot believe the amount of things. So I don't know my dad. I've never met my dad.
Okay.
And I cannot believe the amount of things that I had to like figure out on my own. That like talking to other friends, they're like, yeah, no, like my dad taught me that. I'm like, that's so cool, dude. I can't wait to like tell my kids that, so they don't have to like make all the same mistakes that I did. But that's probably another really big part of fixing modern dating is like, if you, we can't really do this retroactively, but like when you have kids, you gotta stick around and you gotta stay with
nuclear family.
Is nuclear family the like end all be all for everybody? No, I mean there's probably some unique family styles, but there's certainly something to that. And I don't know what it is. That's probably for someone way smarter than me to really put into better words, but I feel like when people see their parents have a happy, healthy relationship, they know what to look for. Like there was this, I got to make a post about this one of these days, actually. There was
like notes.
Yeah, no, that's the funny thing. I know that it's sitting in my notes app,
yeah.
but like there's this, a picture of this gal. And it was like, a dad, sitting on the couch. And she's probably like 20, 21 years old, like laying her head on his lap or something like that. And they're just watching TV. And, mom took a picture and was like, oh, like dad loves his baby girl so much. And I was like, wow, that's really sweet. And then all the comments are like, oh my God, like fucking, this is crazy. This is cringe. This is that. And I'm like, yeah, like I guess at first glance, it's a little weird. And then you go, wow, this girl has a great relationship with her dad. Isn't that what every guy wants?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, like having kids is hard too. Like people that break up during, kids, like I've never been through it, so I don't know it, but, I don't even know. I mean, like, would you recommend, and we're probably not the people to give advice on this, but like even put aside your differences, cause now you have other responsibilities, right? So
that's a tough one.
That's,
what'll probably make a divorce a lot less likely is if you, don't sleep with somebody in the first 24 hours and, get to know this person. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's not a, this sounds so like puritanical to a lot of people where it's like, hey, delay these things. And like, I'm not religious at all. I'm agnostic. But it's hard to not look at some of these ideals that have like stood the test of time. And go, yeah, there's nothing there, So like, should somebody tough it out if the relationship is bad? Fuck, man, I don't know. There are a lot of people who probably have conflicting research on this. There's a lot of people who probably have personal anecdotes that don't line up with this. But like, I know why I don't know my dad.
Yeah.
As I said in a video a year and a half ago, my dad is such a bad guy that you can Google him. I know why I don't know him. There is no circumstance in which my mom should have figured that relationship out. So, short of certain circumstances, should people try to figure things out? I mean, maybe, but it's like I don't think any relationship's going to be perfect. I don't think anybody's going to like enter things and go, oh my gosh, I got in a fight with my partner and that didn't work out. Well, you're going to get in a fight with your next partner too. So like maybe you got to learn how to fight, and it's tough.
Yeah.
Nobody has the right answer on this. And if anybody does, it's definitely not me.
Well, okay. Let me ask you something that is very attractive to you. That's not physical.
Oh no. I think somebody who has like an immediate like maternal instinct. Like I so matter of factly know that I want to be a dad. I've always known that.
Yeah.
So like when I tell women that and they're like, oh my God, I've always wanted to be a mom. I'm like, that's so cool. Like it seems like it's a lot less common in millennials specifically. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah. Birth rate's going down.
Yeah, dude, I know. I'm gonna bring it up all by myself. But like whenever I talk to someone who like actually wants to be a mom, I'm like, damn, like that's really cool. There's something very counterculture about it. Where I can like talk about that desire of like wanting to be a parent. And I feel like there's just something where they like, I immediately get them and they immediately get me, where it's like, you want to be a mom, you probably know to a degree what that means. You know that that's going to mean like putting shit aside. It's going to mean putting shit aside that you would want to do to prioritize your kids. And like, you talk to anybody. Oh my God, if you really want to trip on some stuff, call your parents after this and say, hey, can you tell me about a story, or tell me about a time when you had to like put us before you? Like, what were some things that you absolutely wanted, and you just couldn't? And I've like talked to my mom about this, where there were times where she was going without so that my sister and I could have. And I'm like, that's I think a large part of being a parent. And I think when you know that you want to have kids, when you know that you want to, it's like not even a question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huge thing, man.
Isaac wants some family too. I want to be a dad too. That's probably why you want to be a dad. Is like, you can teach right and from wrong.
I gotta fix the cosmic scales too. Yeah. Like my dad, what little I do know about him is that he has 5 kids that he didn't bother taking care of. So I gotta have 5 kids that I super take care of, actually from what I can tell, he seems to take care of 2.
Okay.
But yeah.
Hey, I got a little scenario for you. Meet the woman of your dreams. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you ever hoped for. All the boxes are checked. But she was really good friends with Jeffrey Epstein.
That would imply that she probably knew something, which is a large unchecking of some boxes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying no.
I'm saying no. But a real quick funny thing, we got this buddy. This is like
Jeff. He's calling him.
So that's exactly what I'm gonna say. We had this joke that we were doing with one of our buddies, where he's like severely autistic, and this is gonna like blow some people's mind, but this is just how guys are. We had this buddy who's very, very autistic, and we decided that we were going to convince him that one of our friends knows Jeffrey Epstein. So we had like started playing up this joke where he would always refer to him as Jeff. And whenever like the topic would come up, he would be like really defensive and like get like upset about it and everything. So, literally like to the extent where it's like, look, like Jeff's not that bad of a dude. Every single time he was just like, what's all that about? What's going on with that, guys? Like it was hilarious because it was like a 4-day long hangout where it just kept going, man, kept going, and we never explained the joke to him too. So.
Oh no, you gotta explain it.
No, we're just gonna let it be.
Yeah. Do you got one you want to do?
How do we feel when you're with the girl and she's posting thirst traps, but she says, "I don't post them for attention. I post them for myself."
I think you got to know the person a little bit to know if there's truth to that, like I remember this was when I was working full time as a trainer, and one of the other coaches that worked with me, beautiful gal, super fit, trained for a competition, yada yada, but just friends, just one of my coworkers. And she like posted a thing of her at the beach or whatever. And like, I liked the picture, moved on from it, never thought about it ever again. And I remember getting a text from my girlfriend and she goes, "Why did you like that picture?"
Do we have the same girlfriend?
I got that text and I was like, what are you talking about?
How did they know so fast?
Well, dude, I legitimately did not know what she was talking about. And she sends me a screenshot and like circles it in the picture as if I'm not going to see my name there. Yeah. And I just liked a picture. Like I didn't, she's got a boyfriend. I didn't think about this at all. And she got like really upset about it. And I don't know. I guess I kind of thought it in the sense of like, would I be upset if roles were reversed? And I think it would depend. Like if it were like some guy that she worked with and the thing that he did was his physique, I mean, that's probably going to be every single picture that he posts, you know, like this gal, pretty much every single picture that she posts was her physique. So it's like, unless I'm just going to look and swipe away, I don't know. So it was like, in my mind, I was like, this is a pretty innocent like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. There's probably like some gray area where like I might not love that. But like I'm kind of at a point in my life where I'm like, you know, when I get like fully locked into a relationship, I don't even know when I'm gonna share that with the world. You know, I don't know that I'm, especially like as I, you know, become a personality on the internet or whatever. I've had people try to like figure things out about my life and stuff that I like don't share for whatever reason. And you know, I don't post my mom at all. I post my sister, but that's because she said that she was okay with it. But like, I don't even know if I'll post when I get in a relationship and get married. And I'm
Don't worry, that will be a fight too.
Yeah, true. Like I absolutely won't post my kids. But like, you know, am I posting thirst traps on my Instagram when I go to the gym and, you know, fucking like just hella pumped? Is that a thirst trap? Maybe. And then, you know, more so the question for me would be, is that a thing that I would really want to battle with my wife? If she said, hey, you know, I don't like when you post those pictures, there's probably some space in there to go, you know, I don't really give a shit about posting a picture, whatever. So then it's just, if that became like a chronic thing of, hey, I don't like when you do this. Hey, I don't like when you do this. Hey, I don't like when you do this. But yeah, I guess if it ever made me uncomfortable, I'd probably just want to find a way to like state that really clearly in that, you know, this isn't because I think that you're dishonest or trying to like, you know, throw a flare out there. Hey, I'm like, you know,
and how thirsty is it?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, how thirsty
You know,
is
so
it?
like it would probably, I feel like the thing that would be more concerning is if I was like, hey, I don't know how I feel about that. And she was like, oh, well, you're so fucking insecure. I'd be like, that was a weird reaction. You know, that would probably be a bigger problem, is like if it was not like a conversation that was deemed worth having.
Yeah.
That ended up being a really good question.
That's good.
Great job.
That's good. That was really good. Hey, do you
Good
want to
answer.
Do you want to do a segment brought to you by our sponsor?
I can't wait.
Okay. We're gonna roll the sponsor real quick. Okay, hey, dude, this segment is called. Wait,
I got a question for you.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel about the way they represented you on Love Is Blind? I didn't watch it, but I am curious what you think.
I would say, listen, you're your own person, right? You're your own man. You can decide not to drink. You can, you know, go on with it. Did they use a lot of my bad moments? Probably. Was it deserved? Probably. So honestly, I mean, it was what it was. I don't really care that much. And so is that what represents me day to day? Probably not, you know, but, you know, what do? You did the thing. So
yeah. How'd you feel about the way other people like perceived you? And like, you know, I'm assuming people commented on your shit with every single episode. You're an asshole. You're this, you're that.
Oh yeah,
dude,
it was mostly bad stuff, dude. But it drives engagement, and it didn't, like, I know who I am as a person, right? And I think my friends and family do as well. So I'm very sure of myself. So it didn't really hurt me too much. And then the things that they were saying, I never take anything to heart, especially if it's online. I mean, there might have been a 3-day stint of me like, my life's over, you know? Because I do, you know, I'm not media trained. I don't know. I'm just a person being put into this, right? A random guy. So, and then you kind of understand like, oh, life just goes on and you're fine. And this is just, I would meet people out in the streets, loved you on that, you know? You know, you're your favorite guy on that, you know, very funny, hilarious, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, everything you get online, that's terrible. You just realize like, they'll never say that to your face. And you probably have more people that support you in real life, you know, that'll actually come up. But they would, you know, it's easier to leave a bad comment than it is a good one.
Yeah. 100%.
People forget very quickly.
People forget very, very quickly. Yeah, it's crazy.
You're never held to anything, right?
No, dude. So. If Jeffrey Epstein was alive, which he might be,
was it Palm Beach Pete? Or
like people would forget. People would move on at some point, which is crazy. So yeah, like a reality TV show, that's nothing, you know. So wait,
it's turned too. Like it's it's a lot more people that are saying, hey, loved you, big fan, all that.
Do you feel like that was encouraged by the show at all to like be like drinking more and stuff, or like that like you were put into situations where it was like higher stress and like higher anxiety where you were like, fuck.
Yeah, I had the most stress on that show. I was stressed out, in emotional turmoil.
Right.
I have bad coping mechanisms, so that's, something I would do. And I think they knew that at a certain point. And so it makes for good TV. But.
Yeah, to a degree, it seems like they kind of know to, apply a little pressure to that button sometimes to like get the good moments and stuff.
Yeah, I think I'm still under NDA for certain things, so I can't.
Probably.
but yeah, I will say, everybody knows, they know what they're doing. They know how to make good TV, stuff that people want to watch. But did I do those things? Yes. So it's not. It's nothing that was irredeemable by any means, So I don't know. I'm still grateful for all the friends I made on that.
Oh, dude, totally.
It was. I would do it again in a heartbeat just because of all of the relationships I built from it.
Yeah, totally.
All worked out. But anyway, you guys ready for this segment? The segment is called The Dating Debate. And so I'm just going to ask some questions and maybe we can get into it and do a little, expand on some of these questions. Hey, is honesty always the best policy in dating?
Yes. Sam Harris has this book called Lying, which you'll never guess what it's about. And it's like 90 pages long. And I've got, various beefs with Sam Harris and a lot of things that he has done and said. But that book made me, it really changed my opinion on truth. It's probably going to come out at some point, and it's going to suck actually getting it out. But even something simple is like, you're in a relationship and you're kind of in the early stages where it's, I don't know, maybe this is, maybe this isn't. But like when you feel that it's probably more likely no than it is yes, it's probably better off to tell them. And, we only got so much time on this earth. Like, what are you gonna do?
Even little white lies.
Well, I mean, it would probably depend on like the real consequence of it. So like a little white lie, like what?
Give us some examples, Isaac. You got any?
Here's one. Your partner asks you how her outfit looks. You hate it.
Be honest.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean,
but
it's you can front load it with a little caveat. Like, do you like how you look in it? Do you feel beautiful? Do you feel sexy? Then it doesn't matter what I think. But then you can also like couch it in other ways that I think are a little bit more beneficial. And like, man, like it's tough because these things are really easy to like say when you're in a like quiet room, just like talking to two other people. But like being able to like do these on the fly is tough. But I mean, like there's been relationships that I've had where we have like a date coming up, and I'm like, hey, are you gonna wear that dress tonight? And it's like the one that I love, the one that I like love the way she looks in, and that is a way like around the question before it even comes up, because then it's like, oh yeah, like he likes that one, of course I'm gonna wear that. So it's the same. I don't know. It's a way to, I guess, get around the binary of like, is this good or not? And then you just kind of like lead with like, this is something that I love that you wear. And then it's not even a question of, is this bad? And you just make it here's the good thing that I really like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
What if it's like, oh, you get hit on at the bar tonight. You're at the bar. Like, no, babe, nothing happened. It's because you don't even need to bring it up. It doesn't need to be.
Oh, I probably wouldn't bring it up if she
asked though.
If she asked like, hey, did you get hit on tonight? I'd be like, oh my god, yeah, I was telling him how fucking hot you were. Like I was fucking pulling pictures up in a minute. I mean, I might even fucking call her. Like I don't know, but I also don't go to bars, so it's like I'm never running into that situation in my life. But there are. Did you see that video on TikTok a while ago where like this gal leaves a voicemail like, hey, just want to let you know we're hanging out with your husband, we're total girls. We're not gonna, like, what a fucking nightmare, bro.
That
like
would be terrible.
Oh,
Why
yeah,
would the guy give
I know, like if my girlfriend like left me a voicemail or something and it's some dude who's like, bro, like your girl's awesome, I'd be like,
Get the fuck out of
I'm
there.
gonna fucking kill myself. Like,
Seriously. All right. Is being too nice actually unattractive?
Oh yeah. I mean, you gotta have a little bit of an edge to you. You know, nobody likes a pushover. Nobody I mean, there's uh God, this is gonna sound so like snooty. Camus has this thing where he talks about like wanting to have like tension in several different areas of life, and I'm really simplifying this, but like there is a little bit of tension that is nice in kind of that push and pull that happens in relationships. So if it's like, hey, you know what, like we should let's go get dinner here. Okay. Hey, let's go do this. Okay. Hey, let's go do okay. Like that's not fun. That's not a conversation. That's not anything, you know? Like some of the like most enjoyable conversations that I've had with gals are like things that we disagree on. Because then it's, you know, I would like to think that the women I date are intelligent. So I'm assuming that they didn't come to these ideas because they're fucking idiots. So it's like, cool, you came to this different thing than I did. Why? And if it were just as simple as me saying, no, I think this is the right thing. And they go, oh, all right. It's like, well, fuck, man, that's the end of that conversation. You know? So I feel like guys really fall prey to that in a different way than women do. Like women kind of fall into that in like a, you know, docile woman sort of way. Whereas like guys kind of do it in like a more like good boy points sort of way, you know? Like I wish I could remember. I haven't read this book in years. I think it's Way of the Superior Man, where there's like some iffy stuff in there, but he has a thing where he talks about how like guys are kind of always doing this like good boy performance, you know, where they okay, well if I do enough good boy things, then she'll like me. And it's like, no, man, because that's not how people are.
Yeah.
You know, like you basically have to like strip yourself of who you are just to put on the performance of like being a nice guy.
Yeah. But give some back and forth, you know, spice it up a little bit.
Yeah,
You know?
totally.
Yeah. Sometimes a healthy argument, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know if that's toxic, but kind of like to be like, well, yeah.
They're going to be a little. I mean, I feel like that just depends how you like define an argument too.
Yeah.
There can be a little bit of sauciness in a conversation. Yeah.
A healthy disagreement.
Yeah, like if you're not yelling and screaming and, you know, throwing shit, like cool, you nailed it.
Yeah,
it's a good conversation.
Yeah. I don't know. You need somebody else that has differing views sometimes too. You're just like, all right, let's try to come to a common ground too. And
yeah,
so
exactly.
It's you know, I'm not necessarily a lay down, but all right, hey dude, who has it easier in dating, men or women?
Ah, dude, it's a false binary. I think it's really rough for everybody. But probably the best thing that you can do is figure out the things that you actually want out of a relationship and find out an area where that's common. Like Denver's not the right place for me to date because I want to have a shitload of kids.
Yeah. And
with the exception of one relationship in the last 4 years, every time that I've said I want 5 kids, they sticker shock. Yeah. Like it like blows their mind that I want
Mormon or something.
Dude, everybody's
Utah.
Yeah, the only problem is that then I would have to be like, hey, this whole like Mormonism thing, I'm really not into this. And I don't want my kids to be into it either.
You
so
can fake it.
It's God, yeah, that would be
don't do that.
that'd be tough. I'd be like, babe, we got to get out of this shit.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I really like Mormons, like as people.
They're nice,
dude. They're the best,
so nice.
Man. Every time I go through Utah, I'll like drop a pin and just be like, hey, I'm in Utah, and like I will just meet up with a bunch of random people, and it's always Mormons.
Yeah.
And we just hang out and like go get breakfast or something like that.
Dude,
they're the best people.
If they start a business too, like everybody goes and supports. You know, I like that part of that community as well. So that's and they're just they're very nice.
But we'll hold on, looping back on that. One of the things that guys have is that I think it's gotten harder to know what a man's role is in modern dating. And it kind of is for women too, but in a very different way where like, guys used to be the ones who made the money. So it was like, okay, of course I'm going to pay for all the dinners and, pay for pretty much everything. because this is the guy who's working. But it's like, okay, now men and women are both working. So like, does that skew things where this is meant to be 50-50 now? And like, it's a stupid conversation that people want to go on all the time. But it's always done from like a very bad faith position. When I think the reality is just like, times are changing and the things that we expect of a relationship aren't so obvious anymore. None of our parents can properly educate us on how we're supposed to be in like the modern dating landscape, you know? Like if my mom, whenever we like talk about this stuff, she's like, oh, well, you know, why don't you just write a nice letter and, you know, get a thing of flowers and send them to her house. And I'd be like, Mom, that's going to get me put on a list. Like, you know, so there are things that nobody's really prepared to handle with modern dating. And I think people just don't know what's expected of them. So probably I think it's equally hard in completely different ways. And the only way to make it easier is to figure out what your role in that relationship is and find somebody else who wants to match that. The masculine energy, feminine energy thing is so like cringe to like it's so cringe to talk about, but there's something to that in the sense of like in a relationship, you want to find somebody who like matches fills the gaps in everything that you do, you know, and you're not gonna be able to find someone who does everything. So hopefully just finding someone who does enough and then bam, things are probably a lot easier.
Yeah.
As opposed to, you know, you find someone who is the exact same vibe as you. Like they're probably going to be, I've dated a gal like this who I was like, you're the coolest person I've ever dated because she was basically one of my bros, you know?
Yeah. Is that a good thing though?
I don't think so because they became someone that I really liked hanging out with and like doing bro stuff with, you know, like I could have invited her to do literally anything that I would do with my guy friends. And I don't think it's good or bad so much as it just became very clear that like the areas that I was a little bit weaker in were also the areas that she was a little bit weaker in. So I'm like, oh man, it's going to be tough, you know?
Last one on this. What matters more to men, looks, confidence, or lifestyle in the beginning?
In terms of like immediate interest in somebody, probably looks. Yeah. I mean, almost any guy
then see if it works out.
Yeah. I mean, like, stuff. You know, if you're not attracted to somebody, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know, you can't do anything from
Do you
that
think
point.
attraction can grow?
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, like, there was a relationship that I was in, where it was like, you know, I thought she was, you know, very pretty, obviously. And like, God, man, by the like midpoint of that relationship, I was like, you're the most fucking beautiful woman I've ever seen in my entire life, you know? And it's just like, because that grew, I got to know who she was and she was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most chaotic date, that you've been on?
I've talked about this on my shorts. I had a girl who I had gotten co-signed by, somebody else. And, we're in the middle of downtown Reno, and it's pretty late at night, and there are a bunch of raccoons that are running by, and she goes, "Oh my God, look at all those little N-words," and yells this.
That's not fun.
Yells this in the middle of downtown Reno, and I immediately do the like, you know, make sure that I'm not about to have to be like, hey, I did not say that. This is a her thing. Don't fucking have beef with me. This is not my shit. You know, like, yeah. So it was I don't know, there's something to, you know, completely ignoring what was said. If somebody says something that is going to put you into a position where you have to defend yourself, that in itself is like a massive problem. So yeah, that was a one and done.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, you're yelling slurs downtown at night? I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
What did her skin look like?
She was
this could be
like,
changed if
she was like half Hispanic.
Oh,
so she was like, she basically looked like a really tan white girl with like Hispanic features.
Okay.
I've worked a lot of manual labor with Hispanic people. They love to say that.
they do, man.
Yeah, I worked down in San Antonio for a while. That's and I think I asked them one time. I was like, you know, or African American population okay with this? Or, black people okay with this?
Yeah.
And they're like, sometimes. And I was like, all right, whatever, dude.
Yeah, I know what school she went to, and I suspect that there was like no issue with her saying that at school. You know, so it's probably just something that she was like used to. And when she said it, she was like, yeah, whatever. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that was a broad generalization on Hispanics, by the way, by me. But like most of them I've been around. I do work at El Patio, and also I lived in San Antonio for 3 years and heard it way more than I have.
Right. No, I'm the whitest white, so I'm like, you can't say that around me, you know?
Yeah. Say it right now, Isaac.
What's the N word?
Neighbor.
I don't even know.
It's answer. Neighbor.
Yeah, good answer.
How do we feel about modern men in dating, and what do you think they could do better?
I think you just got to be more upfront about what you actually want. But I think you got to know what kind of woman you want to date as well. Like, I don't like thinking about dating along political lines, but if you want something that is a bit more traditional, you're probably not going to find it in like a really blue city. So you just need to be upfront with that, like, hey, I want a relationship that looks like that. Do you want something that looks like that as well? And if they don't, I mean, it'll probably change the amount. I mean, it might just like one shot the relationship right there. There's no reason to even like start it. But yeah, just being really upfront with what you're looking for. Does it mean that you're going to get a lot of dates and have a lot of relationships? No, but it's going to like drastically increase the quality of the ones that you do have. If you tell 9 people up front, I want a relationship where, as traditional as can be, and they say, oh, I don't want that at all. You didn't lose 9 relationships. You just, shortcutted your way to the 10th one where maybe they agree. So, yeah, I don't know. There's something that I really like about like a more traditional, like male-led relationship, but that also doesn't mean that I'm going to be like, well, you don't say a fucking word, so, but I've told women that and they're like, I don't want anything like that. And then I've told others that and they're like, that's incredible. That's exactly what I want. I'm like, cool. It's not a matter of like one relationship style being better than the other. It's just closed mouths don't get fed. So if you don't be upfront with it, you're never going to find the person who's in alignment with it.
Yeah. I like that.
It's good. And then what's your type?
I like really tall blondes.
Okay.
Yeah, like my average dating height is probably 5'10". Yeah, I'm 6'3", so I don't know. I've just kind of always been attracted to like taller women. And this is another one that is like, you say this out loud and people like really feel it for Asian women, man. Like culturally, we have done a lot to like infantilize them and go, oh, the only people who are attracted to you, it's because of they're fetishizing you. And I'm like, no, man, just beautiful women. Yeah, like
into Asian.
What was that?
You're into Asian.
Yeah, I think Asian women are beautiful. But yeah, that's I don't know. It's like a weird little Americanized taboo of like, well, they're only attracted to you because of, and it's like, no, man, beautiful people. They got a cool culture. They're nice. Yeah, it is what it is. So Asian women are great. They're not usually tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5'10", blonde, Asian. Yeah. You might have trouble with that.
Yeah. I mean, I would say this is so funny because there's like a meme about like a guy turning 30 years old and then suddenly he discovers Asian women. I basically dated almost exclusively white women until I turned 31, 32. Okay. And then last 2 women that I've dated, Asian, and they're great.
Is there a decent Asian population here?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I found the only ones actually.
Okay, yeah, two. Yeah. Shit. All right, man. Well, okay, we'll hit last question here. Why are you a catch? Brag on yourself.
Brag on myself. I don't know. I got my life together. I know what I want. I know what I want to do. I know what I'm going to do with my life. I'm going to be a really fucking good dad. And to be a good dad, being a really good father, or excuse me, being a really good husband is like a prereq to facilitate that. So, yeah, man, I don't know if I ever talked about this publicly. This is like so cheesy. You guys ready for the cheesiest shit you've ever heard?
Yeah.
I have a playlist for my wife that I've been building for
That's
like
sweet.
a couple of years. Oh, dude, I can't wait to show her.
Somebody's
I can't wait to
gonna
show
really
her.
like that.
Yeah, like I cannot wait to show my
5'10"
wife.
Asian woman, blonde, is gonna really enjoy that.
But yeah, like I got a post that I've been building for my wife, and I'm gonna be like, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna show you all these songs that I like. You know, every time I heard this song, I thought about you before I had any idea who you were.
Dude,
you know?
that's sweet and thoughtful, and I feel like that is not cheesy. It's cheesy to guys now. If I was your boy for a long time, and if Isaac would have told me that, I would have been like, what? But honestly, yeah, she's gonna love that.
Gangnam Style.
Oh Jesus, that's
Babe, you gotta hear this.
babe. This shit fucking rips. Okay, where were you in 2009 or whenever that song came out? Why are you a catch?
Oh, nobody's ever asked me that. I don't know if I am.
It's tough, right?
Yeah. I don't have any redeeming qualities of myself. I think I'm personable.
You certainly have redeeming qualities.
I think I'm
You're a
personable.
handsome guy. You're probably capable of like certain physical things. You were in construction.
Yeah. I think probably, bring a little humor to the relationship. I think, I'm pretty honest with my, with everything I want and kind of what I'm looking for. And that's probably, I don't have any money.
Yet.
But
when this shit bangs.
Yeah. I don't. Not wealthy.
This is the episode that changes our lives.
You gotta think that always. Yeah, and so that's possibly it. Yeah.
Mm.
Andrew, appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Appreciate you, man.
Where can people reach your channel at?
If you type in Andrew Briggs, I come up pretty much anywhere.
Okay.
I make video essays on YouTube and I yap on the internet. I have absolutely said something that you violently disagree with at some point in time. And I love you anyway.
Great.
Love it.
Thank you for bestowing some modern wisdom on us, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
I loved it.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. That was
All done,
awesome.
all done. Thank you.